How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. We're here in the shop today working on some angle iron, and this is old bed rails. We had a cleanup day in our area, and these are all the bed rails that people came and throwed away. So I'm going to show you today how I take these bed rails and repurpose them into something usable. Instead of these going in the metal pile for scrap, we're going to use them to build a shelf. So let me show you how to get these things down into usable pieces. So a few tools that you're going to need is a 4-inch grinder. I'm using one with a cutoff wheel. It's a little finer blade. We're going to need a couple different size punches, which I'm sure y'all got these in your toolbox. And what we're going to do is we just grind the heads off of all these rivets, because there's a bunch of rivets in here. And then you're going to take your little punch, whatever one suits your hole here, and then you're going to stick it down on there and just give it a tap, and as you see, that came right apart. So we'll do a few more and I'll show you just how to get them out of there. Okay, as you can see, we have a couple rivets right here. I'm gonna show you what I'll do, and I'll just take the 4-inch grinder and we're gonna come in here and cut these heads off these rivets. Now I know you guys are thinking that's a lot of work, but I don't know about you, but I've been to Lowe's and I picked up a 3-foot piece of angle iron, and it's not cheap. So the simple thing to do is just go ahead and put your punch on there, knock it right off. So this is something we can reuse. It's not going to waste. Okay, we have 2 more pieces to take off here, or 2 more of these rivets, and then we're going to have a pretty nice clean piece of metal. So now we have one decent piece of angle iron that I think is nice and straight, and we could use this for just about any project. I think this will be fine. So we have quite a few more to do. It'll take us a little while, But if you figure on how much the money it costs you for a piece of angle iron, I think we're saving a lot of money here. Another piece down. This might not look like much to you, but this is 12 pieces of angle iron that I can use to build with. These are almost 6 foot. They're actually 1 inch shy from being 6 foot. We got a bunch of 4 foot ones here. We got some 5 foot, 4 foot. This is probably 4 foot here. Let's check them. Oh yeah, we're 4 foot on these two here. Couple 2 footers. I think these are going to work out great for our project. This is money saved. We didn't have to buy angle. We put a little bit of work into it. I used 1 cutoff wheel. That's all I used, and that was a used one that we cut them up with. I ended up having to put a new one on, but that's okay. I didn't use more than 1 wheel, so we don't have much money in these at all, just a little bit of time. If you got time and some tools, you're going to see we're going to build something nice out of these. Okay, so our angle iron is going to be used for a table for our planer. We have a DeWalt planer here. We're going to go ahead and get it out because we need to get some measurements on it to make sure we get the table that it's going to sit on the right size. So let's get it unboxed. We'll get it out of here, see what we have, get it put together, and that's the best way to go, is to figure out the size now, the length, and then not have the right size table. So I'm just going to take this out a little bit at a time because I know this thing's going to be pretty heavy. And I ain't looking forward to putting it on this table. So the main thing we wanted to do was get some measurements on this planer to make sure that the table fits and it doesn't rub the wall. So I think we're going to end up with a 24-inch by 24-inch table, and that's going to give me more than enough room to set this guy on and to get it set up. I think it's going to work out just fine. So we're going to be putting this thing off to the side until we get our table built, and then we're going to get it set up. So all that angle iron is going to go right for a table for this thing. Okay, so I'm going to get started on this table. So this, I think these will be okay for the legs, and I think this will get the first part of the table built. So we're going to go ahead and start cutting a 24 by 24 inch frame for the bottom of the table, because that's what our table is going to be, 24 by 24. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark them out. And if you guys have been with me all this time, when I built the garage doors, I actually bought a nice little chop saw, and the garage doors are right behind it. We're going to be using the chop saw to cut all the metal, because it's easy to set that up at a 45 and be able to cut our angles. Alright, so now we got our square built. This is the bottom of our table. Just want to make sure it's good and square, and we're going to go ahead and get it welded together. Now, all the extra holes, they're not going to hurt anything. We're not going to lose nothing with those extra holes. So we're going to get this thing welded together. Okay, our top is done welded. We're going to let that cool off a little bit, and then we're going to grind it up, get some of this exhaust, these fumes out of here. We got the blower on, I got the doors open. You see, I got the doors, look at the smoke in here. I'm sure that's not good for you, but it's sucking it out. I'm going to leave the shop for a little bit and let it clear out, and then I'll come back. So we got the first part of our table built. This is a 24 by 24 inch frame. This is going to act as a base for our table. We need 2 legs because part of this will be attached to the wall, the shipping container or Connex box. So we're going to measure out and get our legs cut for this thing. We need 2 of them. So we'll go ahead and get the measurement on them and get them cut. Okay, where I want to mount this on the wall, I have an outlet right here. And we're going to be using this outlet to plug our planer in. The only problem is I need this shelf. I need this shelf down that inch or whatever it is in that box, because I have a couple brackets up here and it doesn't leave me the 18 inches that I need from the shelf up. So I'm going to notch this out so it fits in there. So I'm just going to put a couple marks on here where this needs to be notched. And we'll cut so much of this out so it'll set down on top of there. It's not going to affect our, our strength or anything by notching it out, because it's going to be screwed to the container. Okay, we have our notch marked out here. We're going to go ahead and cut this little square out so it'll fit right down on top of that outlet. Alright, let's go try that and see if it fits on our outlet. Okay, that's like a perfect fit. So now we have to build our legs. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a level along that back wall and mark it, and then we'll know just how high our legs need to be in there. Okay, since we got them marked there, I think the height back there is going to be exactly the same as the height out here. I could try this, see if I can hold it and measure it at the same time. I'm saying 41 1/8. Make sure I got that on that line. Maybe 41 1/4 I think is going to do it. So let me measure back here and see what this maximum is. See, that says 41 right on the nose. What this is 41. So that floor might be sagged down just a little bit on that outside. So we're going to do the 41 1/4, and we could always cut them legs off if we have to. So we'll do 41 1/4 inch legs. Everything's like perfect. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and get that screwed to the wall. And then I put on the bottom, as you just see me welding, two little plates on the bottom on both of the legs. I put a little plate with a drilled hole and a plate with a drilled hole over there. That way we can screw them legs to the floor to make sure they don't get kicked out of the way. Alright, the first part of our table is done. It's secured to the wall and to the floor. We're not going to put a whole bunch of braces on it right now. I think it's going to be okay. We may end up putting a shelf underneath of here. And that means just building one of these angle iron frames and putting it down so low. So that's maybe something I might do. But then again, I was thinking Maybe the vacuum cleaner for a lot of the dust, that would help too, so we'll see. I'm going to cut a piece of this plywood for the top of my table. And this will give us something to set our planer on. Now we'll get this mounted down on here, and that's going to give us a nice table to set our planer on. I'm not going to go too crazy on putting a bunch of screws in there because I think that's fine. We're going to go ahead and get our planer and set it up on there and see what it looks like. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. The main thing is not to get it too close to the wall, but yet not too far out. So we still have room back here along the wall, and we'll be able to take our cord and stick right down through this slot in the shipping container and have the cord down underneath, which I think is going to work out a lot better than having it over top. And we can plug it in down underneath here, right where our little plug was. We have our two little tables to put on there yet. I think that's going to work out pretty good. I'm liking it. Okay, that's our little bed rail bench. I think we saved quite a few dollars using the bed rails. And if I do say so myself, I think it looks pretty good. It's good and sturdy on there. It's screwed to the floor. It's screwed to the wall. I think this machine's going to set up here just fine. Now eventually I may end up building a set of shelves all the way out along here and all the way down there along by the door. That way when we put our wood on there, it's laying nice and flat all the way across. But that's in a future video. But right now we got our little table. Our planer is set up here. I've never used this thing, just took it out of the box. So I need to learn the machine before I can get to running. So, I would like to tell everyone thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Don't forget to recycle.